Hello, welcome to In the Workshop with Mark Tunley, and this is a quick technical follow-up video from the last video we did, which was the Lazy Corn Waggler. It's a variation of the ever popular Matchman style pellet waggler. Now, that is a very, very busy technical sort of method in the match world. And I like to do the lazy version. Not that I am actually lazy, I'm just an efficient kind of guy, obviously. And how it came about was I was fishing, pleasure fishing with a very good mate of mine. I won't mention his name because he's a very good fisherman, but he's a very good match fisherman. And he was pellet waggler fishing, I was feeder fishing. And he was as busy as a bishop's hat. The usual thing, casting, boom, pellets in, catapult, 5 seconds later, reeling in, casting, boom, repeat, repeat, repeat. And after about half an hour of my peripheral vision, just seeing this constant thing going on, and I'm nice and still, just feeder fishing away. It's almost annoying. So I said to him, and he was catching a couple, okay? He was catching a few, but for the amount of work he was doing, he wasn't catching a lot. There was a few swirls on the top as well, so there's definitely carp there. So I said to him, it just came to me in a flash, and I'm sure I'm not the first to have done this. I'm sure it's been done 1,000 times, but I just said, just leave your waggler there, stop casting, just leave it there, and just ping out one pellet at a time every sort of like 10 seconds. And he just looked at me like I didn't know what I was doing, and pretty much I didn't, but I said, just give this a go, because that's how I would do it as a lazy man. I wouldn't just be constantly casting. And I was thinking about this logically. I'll come to the reasons why. So he did this, and he caught with inside 10 seconds. And then out it went again, and he let it settle. And I said, don't reel in, just let it settle and just ping pellets every 10 seconds. Just one at a time, not 10, not 4, just one at a time. Constantly 10 seconds, just ping with your catapult and just sit there. And he caught, and he caught, and he caught. And he just looked at me and thought, well, that's a lot more effective and a lot less hassle. So when I thought about it logically, why is it happening? And this is the little rig from the video we did. It's a little bit shorter right now because I moved it about a bit before I cut it off. But if you think about it logically, now I'm sure a lot of match guys won't agree with this, but if you just think about it logically, this one's got sinking corn on, but you know, you can have a pellet on, whatever. It casts out, hits the deck, and then it's going to swing down. So float will be there. It's going to swing down and settle. Now, how long would that actually take? You could probably measure it in the edge. I reckon if it took 3 seconds before it was down, that would be a long time. And especially with the pellet. You know, it could be 1.5 seconds, 3 seconds. It'll be down quick. And if you actually timed yourself by the time this float splashed down on the water and you managed to pick up your polt, load it and ping it out by the time the pellets have flown through the air, popped on the surface and then sunk down, this has already been dangling down a long time ago. The assumption is, from the match guys, is that the carp are intercepting it on the drop along with the other pellets raining down. Now, the only way you could literally do that is magically have 3-4 hands cast out exactly the same time. As the float hits, your catapulted pellets hit and the whole lot drops down at the same time. And if you're not doing that, this is already settled. So when I applied that sort of logic, as it's already settled, why don't I just leave it there in the first place and just ping pellets around and let them drop down? Now, on the video, we were using corn because corn takes a little bit longer to flutter down. Irrelevant point, really. But the good thing about corn is it's inaccurate. So you can be trying to be as accurate as you can, but because of the variations in corn sizes and the way they stick in the pouch, they go pretty much everywhere. Where pellets-wise, if you're like me with a catapult, it can be pretty accurate. I could pretty much hit the float almost every other time. So with pellet, but with corn, it's everywhere. And that keeps the carp moving around a little bit more. So if there's a couple there and their mates are seeing what's going on, they're hearing this constant plop. So that's the theory and the practice behind it, is that just let it go out there and settle. And then every sort of 10 seconds, just ping one at a time. You might want to vary it up. You might want to go every 5 seconds, I'll put out a couple and then leave it for 10 or 15 seconds. But it's that constant little, think from the fish's eye viewpoint and from his brain. He's just hearing a plop and he's looking for it and his mate's taken one and then he's hearing another plop. And depending on where they are, they suddenly just swimming around, they just come across that hanging there. And they just take it every single time. It's very lazy and super effective. And by the time a matchman has cast out 40 times, mine would have just sat there and have had 5 fish. So again, not teaching the matchmen to suck eggs because they seriously know how to catch fish. But the way they do the pellet waggler is a really, really tiresome method. And me being inherently efficient, I just put it out once and ping it to it. And it seems to work really well. So that is a quick technical viewpoint and a bit more detail about the Lazy Corn Waggler video we just put up. So give it a go, relax, enjoy your fishing, and get lazy. Nice.